Tired of doom scrolling? Time for a dose of awesome. 5 Good News Stories is your happy place, where underdogs become champions, crossing guards become legends, and impossible dreams come true. We're serving up 5 fresh reasons to believe in humanity. From world records to cute animal stories to that guy who turned his pizza shop into a homeless shelter. These are the stories that'll make you go, wait, what? That's amazing! Ready for your good news fix? Follow 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts, because let's face it, we could all use more awesome in our lives. The number 5 Good News Stories.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White Smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Both today and tomorrow, pretty robust for the weekend. Tons of news. We're in this little comedy cycle now where we've had Mulaney, Burr, and coming up on Tuesday, Burt Kreischer's special. So plenty to talk about in the next few days into all of next week, actually. Bill Burr caught up with NPR. I'll drop in and out of a half-assed Bill Burr impression here. Not impression, but I try and capture his bite. You know, he'll speak in short sentences with a little bit of this. So I'll do that in and out. Bill tells NPR he traces some of his rage and his dark humor to the emotional abuse he experienced as a child in Massachusetts. Bill said, every way that you can be abused is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can ever undo things that were done to you. He realized at an early age, if he could make people laugh, he was less likely to get hurt. Since then, he's tried therapy and Psilocybin, aka magic mushrooms, as a way of dealing with the past. He says both helps and lately has felt lighter on stage. Let me jump in here. There is clearly... Let me back up. I posted this in the Facebook group already, Daily Comedy News Podcast group. A few things. As I've aged, I have increasingly been using the phrase, many things can be true at once. For example, 1, we should all try to be a better person today than we were yesterday. Absolutely true. 2, many things can be true at once. There appears to be some sort of PR campaign right now to let us know that Bill Burr is a better man than he was yesterday and that he's softened and he's changed or whatever, or that he can dial the rage on and off. That is in every messaging I've seen for this current promotional cycle. And again, go back to point 1. I think we should all try and be better people, but I'm noticing the PR campaign is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just telling you I'm noticing it. Burr said that whole myth that you can't be happy and still be funny is a myth. I'm a mess of a human being still this far into life. That is my existence day to day, week to week, month to month. It's just what it is, but it makes for good comedy. If you want to hear a good solid hour, Bill Burr is on Terry Gross's Fresh Air. You can grab that as a podcast. He talked about the mushrooms and said, I started tripping and it was goofy and I was laughing. I was like, wow, this is wild. And then all of a sudden, like this feeling came over me and I couldn't really figure out what it was. It was this profound sense of loneliness. I think I asked the question, which really is a cool thing to do when you're on mushrooms, to kind of say, what are you trying to tell me? And it's weird. Like the answer just sort of comes. The answer was basically, this is how you felt growing up. It's the weirdest thing. For like a week after, I was who I would have been if all this stuff didn't happen to me. It was like this honeymoon phase, this euphoria. It made me want to become a better person, made me want to fix my life. So 7 days of that, oh my God, I'm not angry anymore. I felt this lightness in my chest. But then after 7 days, the anger came back tenfold, and then I had to work through that. But that was only like a 3-week thing because I kind of saw who I could be. Bill was asked about some of his early career jokes about women. Bill said, if you watch my earlier stand-up, all that crap that I said had nothing to do with women. It had to do with the fact that I didn't know how to get on with my life, that I wanted to get married, I wanted to be in love, I wanted to have kids, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't understand what my problem was, and I didn't know how to fix it. One of my biggest fears when I was a younger comic and I looked at older comics who never got married, never had kids, they were still doing shows and then hanging out afterwards, trying to pick up chicks at the end of it. And I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want to be that guy. I wanted to get married at 26 and have like 5 or 6 kids, but I didn't know how to do it. Good stuff there. We'll pick at that over the next few days. Brad Paisley, country music star. He's doing a comedy benefit at Zany's in Nashville on April 13th to benefit a free grocery store he operates with his wife. That store is called The Store. The show is called Groceries with Dignity, Comedy Without. Brad says it's such an amazing event in terms of the fact that comedy for charity is my favorite way to raise money for anything. Most charity events are too long. Most of them are asking a lot of the people that attend. You're asking for money, you're asking for time. You usually feed them a badly catered meal. There's an auction that takes too long. None of that is part of this. This is literally what we call it, Groceries with Dignity, Comedy Without. The Store is a nonprofit organization that offers a free referral-based grocery store to Nashville families with food insecurity. They opened up their first location in 2020. Last fall, they revealed plans for a second store. Brad said, we really thought this would take off, and it's great to see that it did. No details yet on who's appearing. The date is April 13th. Doors open 5:15. Show starts at 6. It's at Zany's in Nashville. Ticket price $250, general admission. Before you're like, $250? Please remember, it's a fundraiser. I don't know what's going on at Amazon. George Lopez's special came and went, and I didn't see any press about it. So as I was putting the show together, I saw, Eliza Schlesinger spoke to the LA Times because her special came out last Tuesday. Now, aside from that I suck and I'm terrible at podcasting and I don't know how to put a show together, I do every single day type in the words, even if I don't record, I type in the words comedy and comedian into Google. And I visit 5, 6, 7 websites, and I didn't see a thing about Eliza's special coming out, or I would have mentioned it. It somehow fell off my radar. Also, what I normally do is if Joe Comedian announces a special on June 6th, I work off an app called Agenda, and what I will do is I will start a file labeled June 6th, and I will put in there Joe Comedian special out on Surface today, and that way when the day rolls around, I know it's there. Eliza came and went, so Amazon, I don't know what's going on. You make the Hulu publicists look awesome. The LA Times asked Eliza, the title of your special, which apparently came out last Tuesday, A Different Animal, is an aggressive title, but it also seems like it's got a bunch of layers to it. How do you think the title relates to your comedy? Eliza said, I wanted to do something that was very me, but also my comedy is a little bit of force and aggression built into it. But I did want to sort of announce that I'm on this new platform, Prime Video, and I think what I bring as a performer is different. Every comic should feel that they're bringing something unique. Otherwise, why are you an artist? In a literal way, my comedy is a different animal because I do these animal sounds during my show, and I'm very theatrical in what I do. This is different comedy than what you might get somewhere else. I think I create a very special product. She then talks about putting on a show and says, somebody came up with having Eliza in big letters behind me because the idea is you're watching this, and just in case you forget who you're watching, we always wanted it to be on screen, and I want it to be fun and polished and visually appealing. I thought about doing everything in white, and Amazon was like, it's going to be a little hard to watch the whole time. They're like, you should be the whitest thing about your set. She explains, I'm the first one to perform in leggings and sneakers when I'm on tour, but for special, it should be special. The LA Times said, having seen you around town in LA, you do multiple sets a night, and you're very focused, dressed down, and very inconspicuous. What's your mentality when you're in that mode? Eliza said, I believe in loving the work, so when I go out at night, I'm there to get something out of it. Always do the set, even if you don't feel well, even when you're tired. If there's no real reason to stay home, if you have flu, maybe, okay, stay home, don't spread it around. Or do. I think maybe COVID was started by a bunch of male comics just breathing on a microphone, but I'm there to do work, and I'm there to find all the little weak points. I'm there to find new things. I'm there to find tags. So if I'm not on the road, I'll get up like 2-3 times a night. I don't do 3 sets as often as I used to, because by the 3rd set, even if it's only a 20-minute set, I'm still like, did I already say this to you, or was that the other club? Boy, I know that feeling, especially when I record podcasts out of sequence. I'm like, did I say this one yet? I either can't remember if I've told the story or if I've told the story 2 days from now, if you know what I mean. Plus, I also host the weekly comedy thing on the Live One app, and some stories get done here and there. And it usually happens when I'm recording that show. I'm like, did I say this already? I feel like I did this one already. I try and keep good notes. Eliza said, I try to get up a few times a night because I don't write anything down, so it's all in my head, and so for me, it's about remembering the muscle memory of what got a laugh last time. The LA Times thought it was crazy that she doesn't write anything down. She said, I write down like a word, like I'll say Jell-O, and then that's my mental cue to remember the entire bit. Even though my memory feels shot since becoming a mom, I'm a big believer in the repetition that is the workout, so I'll do a lot of shows where I riff. If you come see me in Hollywood, chances are I'm making up like a third of what I'm saying there, and then I feel like whatever's good sticks, and that's how we arrive at the hour. Gabe Iglesias got his hands in the cement over at the TCL Chinese Theatre in Hollywood. Gabe said the emotions are going, it's very overwhelming. He paid tribute to other Latino entertainers who came before him with a shirt featuring photos of Vicente Fernandez, Chesperito, Desi Arnaz, John Leguizamo, George Lopez, and Freddie Prinze. Gabe said, I thought if I could find a way, how do you say a lot without saying anything? So I had this shirt made to showcase this. I love it. I spent my childhood coming down here with my family, so the fact that I'm here now means a lot. Not just me, but being Mexican. It's like, if this guy can do it, why can't I do it? Everybody has a dream. What's your dream, and what are you doing to make it happen? People are mad at Jennifer Hudson. She did a promo about her guest, Kevin Hart. They put a picture out on social media. You see Jennifer, boy, the Queen's accent came out there, huh? Drop the accent. You see Jennifer smiling brightly in the frame where you can only see Kevin Hart from the forehead and up. One person on social media said, for the first time in my life, I have felt secondhand disrespect. John, you never talk about John Mulaney. I know, right? Late Nighter had a cute story. David Letterman has given an Emmy statue that Letterman won for him. My next guest needs no introduction. He gave it to John Mulaney's father, who appeared in the episode that won the award. Mulaney's father recently got a package from Letterman. Dave wrote a note. I found this extra Emmy in a closet, and I told the kids, let's give it to Chip. So here you go. I hope you love it the way television people love it, and it's solid gold. Spinal Tap 2. The End Continues, a sequel to the 1984 This Is Spinal Tap, is heading to theaters this fall. September 12th is the date. Once again, directed by Rob Reiner, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, has Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, all in their original roles as one of England's loudest bands. The plot this time, spoiler, Spinal Tap is reuniting after 15 years for one final concert. Reiner returns as Marty DeBurgi, the documentarian who follows them on tour, making cameos Elton John, Paul McCartney, Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood. And the New Zealand International Comedy Festival has announced their lineup. The festival will take over Auckland and Wellington throughout the month of May. Over 150 comedians delivering more than 600 live performances. Some of the comedians, Nish Kumar, whose name has been coming up a lot lately, comedian and podcast host Olga Koch, Australia stand-up and presenter Becky Lucas, TV writer Adam Kay, also Jen Brister, Laura Lex, Ahir Shah, Sarah Keyworth, and more UK comedians making their way to New Zealand. Lucas will host the best comedy show on earth at the Sky City Theatre, presenting an evening of hilarious comedy from a selection of crowd favorites and rising stars. Closing out the festival is Last Laughs, hosted by Eli Mathewson, also at Sky City Theatre. And that is your comedy news for today. Before we go, I just wanted to touch on one thing that's been creeping up a little bit, specifically in the Apple Podcast reviews. Some people don't seem to enjoy the feed drops that you get on Apple Podcasts that say, you may also like, and then you get an episode of something. Let me just be transparent here. So why did I start this podcast? A few reasons. One, I was already hosting the Weekly Comedy Thing. That's a weekly show I host on the Live One app. I'm paid to host that show. I put the show together, and I was noticing increasingly as I put the show together, I had all this extra material, and I'm like, why don't I turn a podcast into that? So that's one. Two, emotionally, and I've talked about this, when I was at Sirius, I built all these comedy channels. I put my heart and soul into it. I built this thing. It's super popular for 10 years. And then I get tagged out because I got a new boss who wanted to hire his assistant from Philadelphia, and I basically got fired for no reason. So kind of annoying. So emotionally, this show you're listening to right now, it's mine. It's not for sale. You can't have it. I'm not going to sell it to you. Maybe it sucks. Maybe you hate it. I don't think you hate it if you're listening this far in. But it's mine. So emotionally, this is mine, right? And then also, I like to make money. Podcasting is my job. I'm making money off this and the other shows on Calaroga Shark Media, including Palace Intrigue and 5 Good News Stories. We put out the shows. We put commercials in the middle. If you don't want the commercials, we have the premium subscription. Totally get it. But, you know, I put a couple hours into this every day, specifically this one show, and it's nice to turn a buck. So the feed drops, they pay really well. Like, they pay really, really well. I wish you could see my face right now. I'm looking you in the eyes going, it pays really well. So I get it. I listen on Pocket Casts, and I don't see those drops at all. They're specific to the Apple Podcast app, and they go in as bonus episodes. So if they're annoying you, Pocket Cast is a pretty good app, but I totally get it, and I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. All right, see you tomorrow.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke, the path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're fascinated by UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, cryptid creatures like Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and Mothman, then I have the show for you. The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader. Each week, we investigate different claims of the supernatural and try to shed light into the darkness, bringing you the top guests and experts from around the world. Enter the fray. Then join me, Dave Schrader, your host, as we investigate all aspects and claims of the supernatural and paranormal. Listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms: Good Pods, TuneIn, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Player FM, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. The answers to life's biggest questions and miracles and mysteries awaits you. So join me each week, 2 brand new episodes of the best in paranormal podcasting, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader.